The smallest hostage, how Israel's war turned Palestinian childhood into a crime. I swear we didn't do anything. The trembling voice of a child echoes through the narrow streets of East Jerusalem, moments before an Israeli soldier drags him away. His only crime, being born Palestinian. In the shadow of bombed-out schools and crumbling hospitals, the children of Palestine have become the most visible victims of an invisible justice. The arrest of 2 frightened boys in occupied East Jerusalem, their cries caught on a phone camera, is not an isolated case, but a glimpse into a system that criminalizes childhood itself. According to UNICEF and Defense for Children International Palestine (DCIP), Israel remains the only state in the world that systematically prosecutes children in military courts. Each year, between 500 and 700 Palestinian minors are detained, interrogated, and tried by the Israeli occupation forces, often without the presence of a lawyer or a parent. Some are as young as 12 years old. Many report physical violence, psychological torture, and threats aimed at extracting forced confessions. Behind these numbers are stories too painful to ignore. Stories of boys who drew the Palestinian flag on a wall and were arrested at dawn. Of girls who stood by their homes as bulldozers approached, only to be dragged away by armed soldiers twice their size. Of families who never see their children again, not even to bury them. A system of fear. Every child in Gaza and the West Bank grows up knowing the sound of drones before they learn the sound of their own city. Their playgrounds are ruins, their textbooks are ashes, and their lullabies are sirens. Since the start of the current aggression, human rights groups have documented an alarming rise in child detentions and killings. According to Save the Children and Euromed Monitor, over 20,000 children have been killed in Gaza since October 2023, most buried under rubble, nameless, uncounted. Thousands more are missing, believed to be under the ruins. Even those who survive face a different kind of death, the death of innocence. Trauma has become a national inheritance. The United Nations calls Gaza a graveyard for children, yet the world continues to issue statements of concern while the morgues overflow. The world's selective conscience. The question that haunts every observer is simple. In what democratic country are children arrested, blindfolded, beaten, and imprisoned for throwing stones, while the world looks away? If these were Ukrainian, Israeli, or European children, the outrage would thunder across every capital. But when they are Palestinian, the silence is deafening, as if international law were optional, and empathy a matter of geography. This silence is not neutrality. It is complicity. It allows the aggressor to rewrite the narrative, to justify the unjustifiable, to paint the victims as threats and their suffering as collateral damage. Children as a battlefield. In Gaza, schools are no longer sanctuaries, they are shelters, targets, and mass graves. The Ministry of Education reports that every university has been destroyed, and more than half of all schools are either damaged or flattened. Hospitals treating the wounded have been bombed. Ambulances shot at. Doctors killed. The children who survive these attacks often wake up alone. Parents gone, homes gone, futures erased. This is not war. It is extermination disguised as security. The unbreakable spirit. And yet, amid the ruins there is defiance. A boy in Rafah still ties a red ribbon on his wrist, saying it makes him feel brave. A girl in Khan Yunis writes poems about freedom in a shattered notebook. A child in Nuzirat tells his mother he dreams of becoming a doctor, so I can heal Gaza. They are the living testimony of a nation that refuses to die, even when the world pretends not to see. History will remember. History has a cruel but precise memory. It will not remember the politicians who justified the bombs, nor the leaders who traded silence for alliances. It will remember the children, their names, their faces, their final words. I swear we didn't do anything. In those words lies the essence of this tragedy. Innocence crushed under occupation, humanity buried under rubble, and a conscience that the world has yet to recover. Gaza is still crying. But her children, even in death, have become the loudest voice against injustice.